What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy RP back with another message. And today's message is, we are all in this together. When I say this, I'm speaking of man and woman, and of course children, which is the three-dimensional creation within this realm of the universe. Along, our journey as humans, as mankind, as civilization, somewhere along the lines, we've became addicted to misconception. We've became cool with misunderstandings. We've become easily influenced and quick to accept the ideas and the concepts and the illusions of someone else. I mean, you can look at boxing, wrestling, basketball, football, hockey, any form of sports. You can look at politics, you can look at race, different gangs, neighborhoods, whatever you want to call it. We all deal with what we call and what we know as competition. Everybody trying to get one up on the next. Everybody trying to beat somebody to the punch. Everybody trying to be better than what already is. And what already is one. We all consist of the collective grand plan. It'll never ever make sense to me why people want to be so much better than other people when other people are only split images or other types of reflection of yourself, whether you've chose to tap into that particular reflection or not. It's still your brother, it's still your sister, it's still of source nature. So with all that being said, we have to consider the relationship between men and women, especially in today's time. There has always been an unbalance due to those who sit in higher places, who are in control of the way that we perceive the world. But for so long, men has been putting on this high pedestal. Women has been putting on the background. Women have been told what they could participate in, when they could vote, how to dress, how to deal with or talk to a man, and what is their role to a man. And in a sense, men have been told the same thing, just not to that extent. And it has always been this way. And that's why James Brown said it's a man's world. But all of us are the collective group of the grand plan. Masculine and feminine energy. Yin and yang. Yin is feminine energy, yang is masculine energy. Anytime you see the yin and the yang, they together, they work as one. They are naturally equally yoked, which is also why men and women have masculine and feminine aspects, characteristics, and traits about them. And there's nothing funny about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do have our people that's homosexual, bisexual, whatever. They like what they like, kudos to them, free will, no sin greater than the next, but don't always make it okay. But it's still a perfect example of what not to be, and for certain people who's fighting with their truth about themselves, or what to be. But when we talking about men and women, we talking about creation at its best. Key going in ignition, key going in door to unlock. End of headphone jack going into the auxiliary hole. Any and everything that you can think of has the characteristics of right, wrong, up, down, life, death, stop, go, yes, no. And we feel like it's like we've learned and in a sense been influenced and taught that opposites work against one another, but opposites attract. This is the way that the universe is in creation, deals with creation, and continues to create within a dual nature. And the Lord knows this. God make no mistakes. Man make no mistakes. We perceive things wrong and we continue to lean on our own understanding. So with all that being said, it creates man looking at woman this way and women looking at man this way. We end up losing respect for one another. We end up switching so-called roles that was given to us. So when the opposite sex is not living up to this role that was given to us, we feel like women are bitches or we feel like men are bitch niggas. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but I'm just kicking it to you the way that we say these things when we are angry and upset, disgusted, or feel hurt and betrayed because we can't control other people. I tell people all the time, you can make all this posts and status that you want on social media. You can gossip to your friends all you want. You can sit and sulk and cry and be mad and play the victim all you want. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, you just not it. Or you set in your ways and you don't want to change, you don't want to adapt, and you don't want to adjust. And when people don't want to play your game, you get upset and they end up cheating or leaving you or pissing you off enough to make you want to leave them. And when you continue to repeat these patterns, you know it's something with you, but you're not going to ever admit that because you don't want to be responsible for why you can't keep no man or no woman. And then we go around and we say, you know, if we do this and do that for a man and a woman, it ain't gonna keep them here. The only thing that's gonna keep them here is them wanting to be here. True, but to a certain extent. Because if you do what that man desire and require 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be good. If you do what that woman require and desire, you should be good. But here's the thing. You might be doing something that they require and desire in one area, but in another area or other areas, you're not. And they feel like you're not valuing their suggestions. And you know, you do got some people that sit you down and be real, talk about the issue, y'all fix it, get through it, or agree to not be together. And then you also gonna have the others who try to have their cake and eat it too. Because they know you a good woman, they know you a good man, they know you do good things in certain areas. They love all these aspects and qualities about you. But it's something about the ones that matter the most to them that you're not satisfied. And they trying to cope with this, even if they doing dirt behind your back or not. The only reason they still dealing with you because it's a part of them that's still attached to you that they don't want to leave alone. Because people be scared to start over. People are afraid to see you with somebody. People are afraid to see other people appreciate what they couldn't appreciate with you. But that don't mean you got to hate the other creation. Taming, controlling, being possessive, and changing people is the new thing. I tell people all the time, true love is acceptance. And if you can't accept all of a person and can't accept their version of potentially growing within their own time frame, then you got to be real with yourself and just say you ain't got time to wait. You ain't got time to grow with them. You don't understand, you don't agree, but it don't make them wrong. When we learn to do stuff like that, the world, along with relationships in itself, will be a better thing and a better place. In most cases, when people get upset about love or things not working out and they start to hate the opposite sex, it's because they really hate themselves. They hate themselves for the situations they allowed themselves to get in. They hate themselves for allowing people to take advantage. They hate themselves for not trusting their intuition and their discernment. They hate themselves because they might have married and got to go through all this hell to get out of marriage. Or they had kids with these men or women and now they going through hell just because they got kids together, but they not together no more. Whatever it may be. But that stuff is called so what, and you have to suck that up and find a way to deal with it because in a sense you did make your bed that you have to lay in. And sometimes it's not always your fault. But you can't change other people and you can't change certain situations. You can only change the way you perceive it and how you feel about it. Because those people that y'all feel like did y'all wrong, or feel like ain't hitting on nothing and they just dirty and use people and all that, they might not be like that with somebody else. It might be things and ways about you that provoke that behavior. You might have been inflicting your behavior on them. And in some cases, you know, whether you're married or not, common law is real. Y'all still become one when you having sex and you shacking up and you're sharing thoughts and ideas and eating off each other's food, spreading and sharing DNA. You still become one. You don't need no label, no title, no official supreme authority, government, or none of that to make that what it is. That's a spiritual connection which creates soul ties. And you know, if the relationship don't work and it get real bad, it is okay for one, if not both, to recognize that there is a problem and find a cool and smooth way to separate from being in a relationship. That don't mean y'all can't be friends. And if you're one of them people that's like, oh, I'm either all in or it's nothing, Okay, cool. That's your free will. But guess what? You still shouldn't hold no grudge. You still shouldn't run out here and insult them and dirty up their name just because you had a bad experience based on your perception with that other person. I mean, you just can't be out here thinking one way, wanting another thing, but feeling a whole nother way. That's split energy. And ain't nothing gonna come out of that that's well balanced. So you might as well just be real with yourself. I mean, men and women these days compete with each other more than I ever seen in my life, especially on social media, through Facebook posts. People these days swear they know you through what you post, who you hang with, who you affiliated with, what you do, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even the case. You're not even scratching the surface of who people really are. And then when people have personal experiences that don't go well, the first place that they run to is Facebook. Telling all their business like people can't read through the energy. It's right there. And no one really cares. They might act like they do, they might comment, but in reality, people only doing one or two things. They either ignoring it, or they can relate to it, and they telling you that they can by commenting, or they not. But it ain't helping nobody. Women gotta get out of this whole thing about men providing for them and making life easier for them. Because man and a woman supposed to make life easy for one another. It's not one-sided like the memes that y'all post. It's not one-sided. Men need to get out of the whole, okay, you want your woman to submit, but you do not control them. You understand? But in the midst of y'all being together and respecting one another, y'all supposed to have to sit down and really let each other know what y'all want and don't want, what y'all like and don't like, and hold up your end of the bargain. It's so simple. And like I said, you know, in some cases, you might be in a relationship with a person that you really love and end up outgrowing them. But if anything like that happens, most of the time it's something spiritual, or it's something that has to do with their calling that required them to change location, change direction, or whatever, and it was no longer beneficial to the relationship, versus them trying to do some underhanded, deceitful, manipulative type stuff. That's different. But even the Bible says that man's supposed to be the provider and woman is the helpmeet. Yo, if the woman provides the help and the man is the provider, clearly the woman is responsible for creativity and the man is responsible for manifestation. You got to be able to create and nurture, which is the feminine qualities. You have to be able to put down law and order and focus to manifest, which is masculine energy. That's how you work together. I don't care if the man is the creative one because of his feminine side overpowers his masculine side in that area. If he come up with a great idea, the wife is supposed to take that ideal and find out ways to enhance it, to promote it, to market it, to find a way for it to boom. When she come up with that way, she lets the husband know. The husband's supposed to provide all the tools and anything else that's necessary to bring this creative idea and concept to life. And they work together in doing so. Even though the man might be the one responsible for getting all the tools, putting the money in and all that, the woman is still the helpmate. So if she come across a couple dollars, she should invest too. If she know a couple people that got the tools or anything else that's required for them to do whatever it is that they trying to build, then she should talk to them too. If she feel like she speaks better than her husband, then she should be the one talking to the people that's in control of whatever it is that's being held by those people that they need. You get what I'm saying? It's still a teamwork regardless of who's supposed to do what. And when it says man is this and woman is this, it don't necessarily mean for the other woman. I mean for the man for the woman and woman for the man. Sometimes it's masculine and feminine energy within your being helping one another, and people sleep on that too. We think we're supposed to throw away our qualities and the things that make us who we are based on our chakras and masculine and feminine energy because we're in a relationship with people who let their masculine aura and feminine energy overpower the other energy when it's in comparison to yours and it don't mesh well. You know what I'm saying? You're just not on the same page, or y'all ain't had the same experience to share common ground. Or y'all just don't agree because y'all haven't had similar experience to make it be one of those things that's where it's like, yeah, I feel, I agree, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I've been through that before. If it's not like that, it still don't make them wrong. It just becomes either a correction or an error once you have that experience and you see whether it's while you with that person or after. You still gonna learn something. Because like I said before, everyone that you deal with, past, present, or future, is a reflection of you. That's why you attracted them to you. That's why y'all ended up together. That's why y'all began mirroring each other. That's why y'all end up talking about marriage. That's why y'all end up hating each other guts and all that, because you see yourself in them. And to the ones who feel like, nah, some people just crazy, or nah, some people just selfish. Okay, cool, but you can be too. Yeah. And if the way that they demonstrated is not like yours, then all that does is continue to show you what you don't like and what you don't want. So now it allows you to see signs in others when you start to deal with somebody else after that experience. But once again, it doesn't make them wrong, because somebody else might like that. Some people might like getting beat on, called out their name and everything, because to them, that's ultimate attention versus the normal attention that they get on a regular basis. It's crazy, yes, I know. But some people like that. But at the moment of conclusion, regardless of all these different perspectives, perceptions, aspects, qualities, characteristics, traits, experiences, influences, inspirations, and gossips and rumors that you done heard about man and woman, you will only know a particular man or woman by dealing with them firsthand, individually, on a personal level. Do not put all men in the box, and do not put all women in the box. I don't care if every man and woman that you experience were exactly alike. It's still something about you. It's something about you that attracts those type of men. It's something about you that attracts those type of women. And you got to be real with yourself. And until you change up certain stuff about you, or certain stuff about the way that you think, you're going to keep attracting those same individuals. So you got to take responsibility and accountability for the energy that you put out,